It's Hockey Talk, serious hockey talk for serious hockey fans, and I am here live from Farpoint, the 25th anniversary for the convention. I'm here at the Castwave Studios table. I'm also next to the Fur No More table, who will probably be laughing at me throughout the entire event. And they're just like giving me this dirty look. Hi, how you doing? So, with that, we're going to break down, obviously, the past week in hockey. We got NHL news, Washington Capitals, and, of course, the National Women's Hockey League. And a little bit later on, I'm going to be joined by one of the members of the Castwave Studios group. Which one it is, I'm not going to tell you because I'll just let them just randomly pop in. That's why there's the second chair right there. So, for everyone who is wondering, no, I will not be going over the Washington Capitals Vegas Golden Knights game that took place this past Sunday. As everyone remembers, I was at that game and we filmed our coverage of that game live at the game. That is now up on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Txht hockey, and that is about a good 23 minutes worth of coverage right there for that game. So we're just going to hop right into Tuesday night's game, which was against the Columbus Blue Jackets. For the Washington Capitals on the road, they were going with the lines of Alex Ovechkin, Nicholas Backstrom, and Tom Wilson, Jacob Vrana with Evgeny Kuznetsov and TJ Oshie, Brett Connolly with Lars Eller and Andre Burakovsky, Chandler Stevenson with Jay Beagle and Devontae Smith-Pelly. On defense, you have Christian Djoos with John Carlson, Dmitry Orlov, with Matt Niskanen, Brooks Orpik with Madison Bowie, and Braden Holtby in the net. For Columbus, you had Artemi Panarin, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Cam Atkinson, and then Oliver Bjorkstad with Alexander Wenberg and Nick Foligno, Boone Jenner with Brandon Dubinsky and Josh Anderson, Matt Calvert with Lucas Sedlak and Jussi Jokinen. On defense, you have Zach Werenski with Seth Jones, Jack Johnson with Marcus Nutavara, and Dean Kukin with David Savard, and Sergei Bobrovsky in the net for them. Then, to start off the game, at a minute 58 into the game, Columbus would get a goal by David Savard, his fourth of the season from Alexander Wenberg. Then at 3:38, Marcus Nutavara would get called for holding, which on that power play at 4:54, John Carlson would score his eighth of the season from Nicholas Backstrom and Evgeny Kuznetsov for 29 from 36 of the season. And then at 12:23, Tom Wilson and Josh Anderson would both get 5 minutes for fighting, and at 19:57, Nicholas Backstrom would be called for holding. At the end of the first period, it would be 1-1 for the two teams, and the shots would be 12-11 in favor of the Capitals. Faceoffs were 9-8 in favor of the Caps. Hits were 12-4 in favor of Columbus. And on the power play, the Capitals were 1-for-1, and Columbus's first is in progress. This was a good period for the Capitals after giving up the first goal for the 10th time in 11 games. They responded very well by drawing a penalty and capitalizing on their lone power play. The Capitals need to start the period strong and kill off the Backstrom penalty. Also, they need to continue to push the play in their favor. And then in the second period, 5 minutes into the period, Tom Wilson would score his 7th of the season, tying his career-high mark in goals. Also doing it 33 games, with 33 more games left going on, which would be assisted by Alex Ovechkin and Christian Djoos, their 25th and 10th of the season, respectively. At the end of the second period, it would be the Caps 2, Columbus 1. Shots were 19 for the Capitals, 28 for Columbus. Columbus outshot the Capitals 17-7. Faceoffs were 20-14 in favor of the Caps. Hits were 22-12 in favor of Columbus. And then on the power play, the Caps were 1-for-1 and Columbus was 0-for-1. Despite getting the lone goal of the period, the Capitals were outshot 17-7 and were outplayed heavily in that game. Or that period. But the good thing is 7 shots on goal, 1 win in net for the Capitals. However, for Columbus, 17 shots on goal, no goal for them at all. And good morning, Dixon. Thanks for watching. Good to see you in our chat room. And
remade all the stickers
but no, going into the Caps' third period on Tuesday night, the Capitals need to play a full 20 minutes to close out the Blue Jackets. Definitely need to stay out of the penalty box as well, because you don't want to give them an opportunity to get back into it. And then in the third period, Tom Wilson would be called for slashing at 11:23. At 13:55, Brandon Dubinsky would score his fourth for the season from Marcus Nutavara and Matt Calvert. And then at 16:43, Jacob Vrana would be called for high sticking. And at 19-17, Nicholas Backstrom would score his 12th of the season and 200th career goal from Txht and Alex Ovechkin, his 19th and 26th respectively for those two. The Capitals go on to win 3-2. Shots were 39-25 in favor of Columbus, which saw Columbus outshoot the Capitals 11-6. Faceoffs were 28-26 in favor of the Caps. Hits were 33-13 in favor of the Blue Jackets, and on the power play, the Caps were 1-for-1, and Columbus was 0-for-3. And good morning, Shaggy. I love how it's just the same three schmucks who watch this show every week, and the same two who always comment.
Yeah, that's what but you know what? You don't hear that because you got us three sitting here too.
Yeah. I got three sitting next door, and I got whoever walks by that looks at me going, "Why is he talking about hockey at a sci-fi convention?"
Say because you can.
Yes, exactly. But and real quick, since you're watching, can you do me a favor and make sure you share the Facebook post? That's why I was calling you this morning, which you never called me back to do. So share the Facebook post in those groups that we need shared in the Facebook groups. Yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Dixon. Whip him, Shaggy. Whip him good. But going back to this Caps game, good job by the Caps on getting the win. However, what they need to do is that they need to generate some more shots. They were outshot in every period except for the first period. And hi guys.
Hi.
More guys from Castwave is just showing up. I'm on Txht right now.
That's our music. Continue.
Yes, I planned on it. Shots against for the last two periods were not the best for the Washington Capitals. However, they were doing very good in the faceoff circle, creating good possession time for themselves. On the power play and the lone one that they had, they did capitalize on it. And on their penalty kill, they were a perfect 0-for-3, which is always good for the Washington Capitals. And then, of course, the Caps had 2 days off and then took on the Columbus Blue Jackets again last night at home in D.C. The lineups for both teams did not change much. The only major change that happened for the Capitals was that Andrei Burakovsky came out of the lineup in favor of Alex Chiasson. And then going into the first period of the game, at 5:09, John Carlson would score his 9th of the season from Evgeny Kuznetsov and Jacob Vrana, their 37th and 8th of the season. And then at 6:28, Pierre-Luc Dubois would score his 11th of the season, which would be unassisted. Then Nick Foligno would be called for holding at 8:49. And then Evgeny Kuznetsov would be called for interference at 17:52. Then at 19:58, after getting out of the penalty box, Evgeny Kuznetsov would score his 15th of the season from Lars Eller and Matt Niskanen, their 17th and 13th of the season, respectively. At the end of the first period, it'd be the Capitals 2 and the Columbus Blue Jackets 1. Shots were 9-6 in favor of Columbus. Faceoffs were 10-5 in favor of the Cats. Hits were 12-5 in favor of Columbus, and on the power play, both teams were 0-for-1. This was a good first period for the Caps. They got the first goal and really seized momentum when they scored within 2 seconds left in the period. The Caps need to clean up their play a bit and continue to push the play in the Columbus zone. Now, that momentum that the Capitals got by scoring 2 seconds left in the period, well, they lost it when Columbus scored 27 seconds into the period when Artemi Panarin scored his 14th of the season from Seth Jones. Then Dean Kukin would be called for tripping at 1:37, and at 4:38, Jay Beagle would score his 6th of the season from Devontae Smith-Pelly and Chandler Stevenson, their 8th and 9th respectively. Then Lucas Sedlak would be called for high sticking at 4:42, and at 6:06 on the power play, Lars Eller would score his 11th from TJ Oshie, his 20th, and then Tom Wilson would be called for tripping at 17:31. At the end of the second period, the Caps would be up 4-2. Shots were 21-11 in favor of Columbus, which saw Columbus outshoot the Capitals 12-5. Faceoffs were 21-18 in favor of Columbus. Hits were 18-14 in favor of Columbus, and on the power play, Columbus was 0-for-2, and the Caps were 1-for-3. Another good period for the Caps. After giving up a quick goal, they responded with 2 of their own, plus their penalty kill at the end of the period was critical, and some massively good saves that they made in that penalty kill as well. The Caps need to play a perfect 20 minutes to guarantee victory. Also, they need to stay out of the box and in the Blue Jackets zone. And in the third period, all that happened at 7:12, Matt Niskanen would be called for delay of game, and at 19:06, Artemi Panarin would be called for high sticking, thus ending the Blue Jackets' push to try to get a goal or two in that period. The Caps go on to win 4-2. Shots are 37-17 in favor of Columbus, which saw the Blue Jackets outshoot the Capitals 15-6. Shots were 32-27 in favor of Columbus. Hits were 25-20 in favor of Columbus. Columbus was 0 for 3 on the power play, and the Caps were 1 for 4 on their lone power play as well. That would work if that actually was playing. But so good game for the Caps. They won 4-2. They won back-to-back, which they hadn't done in a while. One of the concerning things, obviously, is the fact that they haven't been shooting a lot more. But one of the interesting things that was brought up, that was brought up last night during the post game, was the fact that the Washington Capitals are taking less shots, but they're getting more goals. They're making more of their shots count, and that's something that, and they're not making as many errant passes as they have before. So with that in mind, it's something to keep an eye out for, especially going into the game tomorrow against Detroit, a game, and the other games going on this upcoming week, especially when you're going into more games against teams against your division that impact where you could potentially be in the playoff picture. So that's definitely something I'm gonna take more time to watch and see what they're doing, and yeah. So. And the guys are talking in the chat right now about the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, so I'll use that as a good lead-in. So this morning, before we went live, the Toronto Maple Leafs unveiled their Stadium Series jerseys that they'll be wearing on March 3rd at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland against the Washington Capitals. Now, we've already seen the atrocity that is the Washington Capitals jersey, but which now Dixon and I and Shaggy and I have also seen live and in person, and we just can't. It's bad. I'm sorry, Washington Capitals. I'm a massive fan, but it's bad, and it was a failure. But Toronto unveiled theirs, and let's see if I can work it. No, I can't work it. Okay, but it's an amazing jersey. It is it's essentially what they wore in the Centennial Classic, but a white version of it minus silver. It has the current Maple Leafs logo, which is that 1960s version of the logo. One difference is that the Stadium Series patch is right here on the right elbow, in between the blue stripes, and the A is and C will be right here above the top blue stripe, and the numbers are right here on the shoulders. I like that. And one of the other things, and I can't. Sorry, I'm trying. It doesn't. Yeah, I can't get it. Not with the tablet. Sorry, guys. But you have white gloves, you have white pants, and you have the white helmet, and the white socks and the blue stripes on them. I think Toronto did a much better job with their Stadium Series jersey than the Washington Capitals. I haven't seen what the back looks like, but you would assume it's just an enlarged version of their number with their name as well. But definitely a much better uniform than what the Washington Capitals are using right now. Definitely much better. So definitely 100% kudos to the Toronto Maple Leafs for making a much better uniform than what the Washington Capitals did on for theirs. Thank you, Colin.
You're welcome. Have some Honey Nut Scooters.
Thank you. While live on the air, I'm getting fed food.
You gotta eat sometime.
We'll talk about that after I get off the air, because you're not gonna like to hear what I have to say. So, but zero. Welcome to a live feed at a convention. on Twitch, while on Twitch. Yeah, but my viewers are like, yeah, I don't want to watch this anymore. But going back to hockey, this is what happens at a convention, and then we get to do this next month at AwesomeCon.
It's gonna be
So, but yeah, so Toronto Maple Leafs definitely hands down better Stadium Series jersey than the Washington Capitals. I would totally buy a Toronto Maple Leafs one over the Washington Capitals. Sorry, Caps, but when it looks like crap, do you really expect me to buy it? Answer to that is no. Now, moving on to the National Women's Hockey League. Obviously, if you could tell at the beginning of the show, I didn't do my music. We don't have our sound bites either for other stuff. So we're just going right on into it. So last week on Friday, the Connecticut Whale took on the Boston Pride in Boston at Warrior Ice Arena, and which saw the Connecticut Whale win 3-2. In the first period, Boston would get a goal from Sydney Daniels, assisted by Alyssa Gagliardi and Jillian Dempsey, and Connecticut would then get a goal by Jordan Brickner, assisted by Emily Fluke. And then the second period, Boston would score in the first 2 minutes of the period again, this time again by Sydney Daniels, assisted by Kaylee Fratkin. Then at 14:42, Connecticut Whale player Jamie Goldsmith would score, assisted by Casey Anderson and Shannon Doyle. The game would actually go into a shootout as they were still tied 2-2, and it would see Jordan Smelker and Jamie Goldsmith scoring for the Pride and Connecticut Whale, respectively, but it wouldn't be until late in the fifth round when Emily Fluke would score to win the game for the Connecticut Whale, which is actually a goal that Shaggy called in like the Butcher Gross Challenge. So good job by you on that one, Shaggy. Hello there, sir.
You talk to somebody online?
I'm live on Twitch.
Huh?
I'm doing a live stream.
Oh, cool.
Doing a hockey show.
Hi.
And then on Saturday, February 3rd, 2018, at the Harbor Center, the Buffalo Beauts hosted the Metropolitan Riveters, who at the time, the Metropolitan Riveters were undefeated. And going into this game, at 15:58 of the first period, Metro would get the goal from Madison Packer, assisted by Rebecca Russo and Jenny Ryan. Then in 1906, the Beauts would get on the board by Haley Scamora, assisted by Jordan Burns. Packer's goal would be a power play goal. Scamora's goal would be a shorthanded goal. So special teams obviously playing a big hand in this game so far already. Then in the second period, at 10:06, Corinne Bowie would score on the power play, assisted by Sarah Casorso and Haley Scamora. And then the Metropolitan Riveters would score at 15:31 with Madison Packer would score again on the power play, assisted by Alexa Grushko and Courtney Burke. Then in the third period at even strength, Buffalo Beauts would score 10 seconds into the period when Maddie Elia would score, assisted by Haley Scamora. Then at 6:26, Kaylin Schroka would score shorthanded for the Beauts, and then the Beauts would get one more goal from Kristen Lewecki, even strength, with Courtney Kunichka and Sarah Casorso. And then at 13:37, the Riveters would get one more on the board as Harrison Brown would score at even strength, assisted by Tatiana Rafter and Kelsey Colzer. The Buffalo Beauts would go on to win 5-3, thus ending the Metropolitan Riveters' perfect season. So now when you look at it, you have the Metropolitan Riveters, who are 11-1-0 with 22 points, the Buffalo Beauts in second place at 8-4-0 with 16 points, and then the Connecticut Whale and the Boston Pride are both tied for third place with 8 points, but Connecticut has more wins with a 3-7-2 record compared to Boston's 2-6-4 record this season. And then what's coming up? Well, this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, it is the All-Star Weekend. Tonight is the skills competition taking place at the Tria Arena in association with the Minnesota Wild in St. Paul, Minnesota. And Team Ott versus Team Levellier will go into the skills competition tonight and then take place in a game tomorrow at the same venue. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Shaggy's going to be super happy about this one. Oh, okay. And Shaggy will be super happy about this because this time he actually gets to see us talk about it live. But next Saturday on the show, we will have Stephanie Phillips, the writer for the graphic novel Kicking Ice. She will be on the show next week to talk about her graphic novel, how she got the National Women's Hockey League involved, her love for hockey and how she got into hockey as well. So definitely a big interview coming up next weekend with Stephanie Phillips from the graphic novel Kicking Ice, which you can contribute to right now on Kickstarter, which we will be the show will be making a contribution to the Kickstarter next week. And then last bit of NWHL news, the NWHL Players of the Week were announced. We had co-recipients once again, and that was going to Emily Fluke of the Connecticut Whale and Haley Scamora of the Buffalo Beauts. Fluke, a rookie forward, had an assist and scored the winning goal in the shootout as her Connecticut Whale took a big game in Boston 3-2 to claim sole possession of third place. And then this season, Fluke has 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points in 12 games. And then for Scamora, in her first full season as a pro after joining the Beauts last March in time to contribute to the Isabel Cup Championship, continues to emerge as a rising star in the NWHL. On Saturday, Scamora had a goal and 2 assists to lead Buffalo to a 5-3 win over the Metropolitan Riveters, who are undefeated no longer. So definitely big stuff going on with them. Oh, wow. So we just had breaking news, which I can't see yet. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Yeah, breaking news. The Washington Capitals have just re-signed Lars Eller to a 5-year, $17.5 million contract extension. That is a big deal right there for the third line center. Thank you, Shaggy, for bringing that to my attention. Because, yeah. Now, as we wait for this to load up. All right, and now going into NHL news and notes. We're going to kick back to February 4th real quick. Connor Hellebuck made 25 saves to post his 5th shutout of the season and help the Central Division leading Jets extend their point streak to 7 contests. Winnipeg moved within 1 point of the idle Golden Knights for first place in the Western Conference. Hellebuck established a career high with his 27th win of the season, second among all goaltenders between Andrei Vasilevsky. Only 2 goaltenders in Jets Thrashers franchise history have posted more wins in a season: Kerry Lettinen with 34 in 2006-07 in Atlanta, and Andrei Pavlik with 29 in 2011-12 in Winnipeg. All right. And then David Pastrnak scored his 2nd game-winning goal of the season, and Tuukka Rask made 23 saves, including a highlight reel stop in the 2nd period, to lead the Bruins to their 7th victory in 8 contests. And then the line of Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn, and Alexander Radulov combined for 3 goals, 4 assists, and 7 points, and defenseman John Klingberg notched an assist to power the Stars to their 2nd straight victory. And then Jonathan Huberdeau scored at 19:51 of the third period to break a 2-2 deadlock and lift the Panthers to their 3rd consecutive victory. All right. And then on February 4th, Nashville Predators forward Philip Forsberg was suspended for 3 games without pay for interference against New York Rangers forward Jimmy Vesey during NHL game number 800 in Nashville on Saturday, February 3rd, the NHL Department of Player Safety announced. The incident occurred at 9:05 of the 2nd period. Under the terms of the CBA and based on his average annual salary, Forsberg will forfeit $96,774.18. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that Caps game from Sunday. Let's see here. All right, and for the 3 stars of the week, were announced on Monday. The 3rd star was Riley Smith, right winger of the Vegas Golden Knights. Smith finished 2nd in goals and tied for 3rd in points with 4 goals, 1 assist, and 5 points in 4 games played, as the Golden Knights won 3 of their 4 games, set a new benchmark for wins by a team in its inaugural season, and finished the week 1st overall in the Western Conference standings. 2nd star is Hari Satera, goaltender for the Florida Panthers. Satera went 3-0-0 with a 1.67 goals against average and .946 save percentage to guide the Panthers to a perfect week and into a tie for 4th place in the Atlantic Division. And the first star was center for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Evgeny Malkin. Malkin led all skaters with 6 goals and 8 points as the Penguins gained 4 of a possible 6 points to finish the week in 3rd place in the Metropolitan Division. Malkin began the week by recording his 12th regular season hat trick, including the game-winning goal in a 5-2 win over the San Jose Sharks. He followed up with 2 goals and 2 assists in a 7-4 victory over the Capitals on February 2nd. And then he scored the lone marker for Pittsburgh in a 3-1 loss to New Jersey on February 3rd. And then on February 5th, facing the league-leading Lightning, Connor McDavid netted his 3rd career hat trick and first career 4-goal game that powered the Oilers to victory in the finale of a 5-game homestand. McDavid became the 11th different player to register 5 points in a game this season. Matthew Barzal of the Islanders has 2 such outings and just the 3rd to score 4 goals in one contest in 2017-18. And the other 2 players to do 4 goals, Patrice Bergeron on January 6th and Alex Ovechkin on October 7th. Let's see here. Austin Matthews, William Nylander, and Jake Gardiner collected 3 points apiece as Toronto won a game that featured 4 tying goals. The Maple Leafs, who have won 5 of their past 6 outings, scored at least 7 goals in a game for the 5th time this season, tops in the league. Matthews has scored 6 goals in his past 8 games and is one of 10 players with at least 25 goals in 2017-18. Let's see here. Stars defenseman Dan Hamhuis was honored during a pregame ceremony for recently playing in his 1,000th career regular season game. And then I'll respond to that text message later. And then going into February 6th, 5 different skaters found the back of the net to help the Penguins defeat the Western Conference leading Golden Knights in Marc-Andre Fleury's first game in Pittsburgh as a visiting goaltender. The Penguins earned their 8th consecutive victory at PPG Paints Arena, their longest home win streak since the franchise record 13-game run in 2013-14 from November 15th to January 15th. And then, of course, the Penguins presented Marc-Andre Fleury with his 2017 Stanley Cup ring prior to Tuesday's game. Jonathan Bernier made 38 saves and Tyler Joust scored the game-winning goal in the second period as the Avalanche recorded their 9th consecutive victory at Pepsi Center, their 3rd longest home win streak in franchise history. And then Connor Hellebuck made 21 saves to help the Jets extend their point streak to 8 games and reclaim first place in the Central Division standings. Winnipeg improved to 23-2 at Bell MTS Place this season, including a 3-0-1 mark on its active 10-game homestand. The Jets lead the league with 20 home wins in 2017-18, tied with Pittsburgh, and moving forward, matching their franchise record for most in a season, 24, which was in 2005-6. And then on the 7th, Ottawa Senators forward Alexander Burrows has been suspended for 10 games without pay for serving as the aggressor in an altercation and kneeing New Jersey Devils forward Taylor Hall during the NHL game number 816 in Ottawa on Tuesday, February 6th, the National Hockey League's Department of Player Safety announced. The incident occurred at 10:02 of the second period. Burrows was assessed 2 minor penalties, 1 for cross-checking and 1 for roughing. Under the terms of the CBA and based on his average annual salary, Burrows will forfeit $134,408.60. And then moving on to games on the 7th, Patrice Bergeron scored 2 of Boston's 6 unanswered goals to lead the Bruins to their 4th straight win and within 1 point of the Lightning for first place in the NHL. The Bruins extend their road point streak to 12 games dating to December 13th. This marks the 5th time in franchise history that the Bruins have recorded at least 8 point in 12 or more consecutive games. Let's see here. Do a little Toronto news since we're getting ready for it. James Van Riemsdyk scored the decisive marker in the shootout, and Frederick Anderson made 44 saves to help the Maple Leafs improve to 7-2-2 in their last 11 contests. The Maple Leafs, who improved to 2-0 in their current 5-game homestand, ranked 3rd in the Atlantic Division behind the Tampa Bay Lightning and Boston Bruins, and own the 3rd most points in the entire Eastern Conference. And then Drew Doughty collected 2 assists, and the Kings scored 3 times in the final 5 minutes 27 seconds of regulation after starting a 2-0 lead to pick up their 3rd straight win at Staples Center. At 29-19-5, the Kings leapfrogged the Idle Flames and Ducks into 3rd place in the Pacific Division. Doughty collected the 300th assist and 400th point of his NHL career to join Rob Blake as the only defenseman in Kings franchise history to reach either milestone. Doughty reached the feat while competing in the 741st game of his career, 64 games fewer than Rob Blake, who played 805 total in a Kings uniform. Jumping ahead. And on February 8th, Golden Knights earned their 17th road win, 2 shy of another record. James Neal scored the go-ahead goal of 4:50 remaining in regulation to help the Western Conference leading Golden Knights and conclude their 6-game road trip with a 4-2-0 mark. Vegas improved to 17-11-2 as visitors to move within 2 road wins of matching the NHL record for most by a team in its inaugural season. Let's see here. Sean Monahan scored twice, including his 3rd consecutive game-winning goal to help the Calgary Flames extend their road point streak to 7 games and move past the Sharks and Kings for 2nd place in the Pacific Division standings. 5 different skaters collected multiple points, including 2-point efforts by Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman, and Yanni Gourde to help the league-leading Lightning improve the 6-2-0 in their past 8 contests. Kucherov boosted his NHL leading total to 28 goals, 40 assists for 68 points this season. 3 more points than Pittsburgh's Phil Kessel. The 2 are among a group of 11 players with 60-plus points. And alright, moving on to the 9th. And then down 5-2 in the final 6 minutes of the 3rd period, the Islanders scored 4 consecutive power play goals in a span of 3:37 to take a 6-5 lead over the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit then tied the game with 29 seconds remaining in regulation, but Brock Nelson would score his 3rd of the season. Scored his 3rd goal of the contest at 3:15 of overtime to power New York to victory. The Islanders improved to 27-23 and 6th this season, claimed possession of the final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference standings. The Islanders became just the 3rd team in NHL history to trail by at least 3 goals in the final 5:26 of regulation and win, joining the Minnesota North Stars on March 12, 1984 versus Montreal, a 7-6 overtime win, and Canadiens on March 15, 2014 versus Ottawa, a 5-4 overtime win.
Every time you shoot something, even though you're giving it to
Alright, that's it for that. And then the last email I have here is about the Maple Leafs uniform. So let's actually read a little bit more into this uniform. The uniform is inspired by the Maple Leafs' classic identity infused with the most advanced uniform. We don't need to read about the Adidas stuff every time we get one of these things. In keeping with the Maple Leafs' recent rebranding, their iconic logo is unchanged and executed in white and blue, with the white and blue outline to accentuate the amount of white on the uniform, symbolizing the color of the team from the North narrative. Additional design details include a salute to the Royal Canadian Navy with the creator Ready I Ready on the inside collar. The Maple Leafs' inspiring honor, pride, courage appears as a tonal deboss on the top stripe of the left sleeve to complete the look. The jersey is donned with a special edition 2018 Coors Light NHL Stadium Series patch on the right sleeve, right where the elbow is, in between the 2 white stripes. That jersey is available now. I'm trying to hold in and sneeze so I don't sneeze. But yeah, they did a much better job. God damn. But yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs hands down did a much better job with this jersey than the Washington Capitals atrocity. So, as it reloads the Twitch page so I can see whatever comments you guys have if it didn't delete them all. And it did. So any chats that you guys are putting up, I don't see it. I'm so sorry. Hey, where did Brian go? This was the part of the show. He was supposed to just kind of walk on in. You want to talk hockey until Brian shows up?
Sure.
All right, get over here, Colin.
Okay.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, joining me now You know, because I told Brian that I'd get you guys on here because I am at your table. Which, by the way, thank you so much for letting me use the Castwave table.
Mikase Sukasa, brother.
Yep. So we are.
Yeah, it was okay.
I don't know what's going on, but okay.
Oh, speaking of the devil, you just lucked out because he just walked out.
Oh, he just Wow.
So hey, swap out. Tag team.
Tag team. We don't do the wrestling stuff till like next Saturday. But yeah, we're back.
What's up, brother?
I have to say we're offline, but we're totally on the air right now. Oh, yeah, it says we're live, but I'm getting a black screen.
Yeah, it happens.
Hey, Dixon says Massey.
Hello.
Now,
What's up, dude?
we've been talking a while about, oh look, there we are.
Sweet.
So we had been talking about, you know, I did all the NHL news and notes, done all the NWHL, done all the Caps. Have you seen the Capitals jersey for the Stadium Series?
I have.
Horrible.
It's not the best design, I will say.
Don't mind me as I just eat unprofessionally on the air.
I can kind of see what they were going with, but yeah, I'm not a fan.
Now, I just read in the press email from the NHL that remember how we saw the thing that said "Ready, I ready"?
Yeah.
That is a tribute to the Canadian Royal Navy.
Ah, okay.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs did something to honor their Navy with their jerseys that didn't make them put Navy on their jersey like the Washington Capitals, where the Capitals go.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Are they going with a different color scheme for that?
The Capitals?
Yeah.
Their uniform is going to be dominant navy, which is in honor of the Navy, which makes no sense whatsoever.
So it's not. Oh wait. So okay, sorry. 'Cause I could have sworn that the jersey I saw was predominantly red.
Hold on.
Unless I saw something completely different.
Oh wait, what am I doing?
So. Okay, we're taking a look here real fast.
Yeah, we're googling Capitals Stadium Series jersey.
Oh that thing. Oh yeah, that's ugly. That is ugly as sin.
Pull that up.
Oh no. God. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, that's awful.
yeah, that's the jersey right there.
It's bad. That no. I
See by doing a Navy base, that's how you're honoring the Navy. Whereas the Toronto Maple Leafs, on the credo of their jersey, they actually have the inscription "Ready, I
Right.
ready," which is a tribute to the Canadian Royal Navy.
so.
So
the point,
18
point goes to Toronto in that regard. Then.
the point, I think all the points go to Toronto in that regard.
Yeah.
All the points.
I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with that Stadium Series W. Like, I love that.
Oh, you mean the Winter Classic W?
Winter,
This one.
sorry, yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that right there, that is a great logo. I love that.
Well, they're bringing it back. They kind of modified it slightly, and that's what's going to be on the pants with the Capitals.
Okay.
But no, I you know, and Dixon was on Skype when we talked about the Caps jersey when they unveiled it, and the number one thing that we obviously were saying is that you're supposed to be honoring the Navy with this game. You're playing at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. You know, how do you pay tribute to them? You don't make your uniform Navy looking. One of the big things is, and they've been using it for the marketing, is they have the Caps logo, like that CAPS logo, on top of an anchor. Put that on the jersey.
Right.
That's how you really pay tribute to the Navy and
I
stuff
mean,
like that.
honestly, what you could have done is you could have made the W look more like an anchor.
Yeah. Or do something with the Weagle, or put the Weagle head on the top of the anchor and something.
That's not bad. That's
See,
not bad. I like that.
we're better marketeers than the Washington Capitals are.
If we were talking wrestling, we would so be considered marks right now. It's like, no, we think that this is better. But
We are marks. but
smarks, sorry. But yeah,
but the thing is that, you know, that was a failure on the Capitals' part. Toronto did a great job. I would probably buy Toronto's over the Caps. And the fact that they have white pants and white gloves, that's awesome.
They're wearing all white because they want it on our scene.
PG, man, PG.
What? Am I wrong? Sorry, but yeah.
Excuse me for a moment.
It tickles. What does it say?
Well, the Capitals honestly needed a better design team for the Stadium Series jersey. Yeah, I know. I'm sitting right here, Dixon.
Yeah.
I could have easily designed that thing so much better. Heck, we could have probably taken stuff from other past Caps jerseys and incorporate that, like the old Blue Eagle jersey. We probably could have taken something with that and actually incorporate that with the Navy somehow.
I can imagine somehow, some way. Like, I don't think they're ever going to go back to that old school. Like, well, I say old school, but I'm talking like that 2000 to 2008 style or what have you.
Right.
Like, do you think that they'd ever go back to that? I honestly don't think they will.
I don't think they will, but it is part of their history,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool. I have a lot of interactions on
Oh, wow.
Twitter. More interactions. Yeah. But, no, I mean, it's an interesting... I feel so disappointed in my Capitals with that jersey. It's like, it's funny. It's like, I don't feel, it's like, hey, the Caps won back-to-back games and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, no, I feel really disappointed about their choice of uniform right now.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, like,
You'll buy me one? So I can
No.
mock it in my
No, God,
in my closet?
No. No, if I'm buying a jersey for anybody, it's myself. No.
For those watching, I wear a, because Adidas uses the Canadian sizing, I wear a size 54. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, okay. So wait, they don't do XL, XXL, or anything like that?
No, they use Canadian sizing. So a 54 is like, 54 is like a large, extra large, and like a 58 is like an extra large.
Okay, because I've found that like I usually wear like a triple XL shirt just so I can get that little bit of like extra breath in.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, 2XL.
You probably would want a goalie jersey then, a goalie cut.
Yeah.
Like a 16G.
I know that the Reebok jerseys, I fit both an XL and a double XL very, very easily. Like, as a matter of fact, I think the double XL is a little too big on me, which is saying something. but yeah, I think going anything over that, I just look like I'm wearing a freaking,
A pajamas
yeah.
or a gown.
Mm-hmm.
You look good in a gown.
Thank you.
I know.
But yeah, I just, I don't know, like,
Yeah, I know. We're seeing a lot of them too because people are sheep. There's a reason that why this show is called the Experience Hockey Talk for Serious Hockey Talk for Serious Hockey Fans, because the bandwagoners are never going to watch this show. Which is why we only have like 3 to 5 people watching it right now anyways. So.
can I tell you a funny story, by the way?
No, but go ahead anyways.
Okay, so obviously, like, if the audience might not know this, but I'm originally from Denver, but I moved out here and I didn't get into hockey until I was living out here, and the only team I don't follow from Denver happens to be for hockey. I'm a diehard Caps fan. So my mom's not a really big hockey fan, but like this year for Christmas when I went back over there because she went to a game and whatnot and she started falling in love with hockey herself, she started buying me all this Avalanche stuff, and I'm like, okay. Thank you. I'm like, I'm not gonna wear it. I mean, I'm like, like.
Did she get you a jersey?
She didn't give me a jersey. She got me a shirt and she got me a hat. And I was like, cool, but like, I'm like, it should have, like, why isn't this Cap stuff? Because
it's not her area.
I know. It's the one time I've ever complained about, like, why did you give me a Colorado team? Because, like, if it's the Broncos or the Rockies or even the Nuggets, I'm like, that's awesome because I love those teams. But I'm not an Avalanche fan. I'm a Caps fan. So.
Now, for me, honestly, I would totally love to get the inaugural season Colorado Avalanche jerseys. I'm glad that their current jerseys are back to that look, slightly modified a little bit in how it looks. Mm-hmm. I wish they'd get rid of this Colorado C patch and put back the Yeti foot.
See, as someone who loves that flag, I can live with that C, but that's just me.
But that Yeti foot's been like a trademark of the Avalanche.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And that's why.
So,
And real quick, for the people watching, we got 4 people watching. hit up the chat. Got questions for Brian or questions for me? Shoot them. We'll answer them. Especially Brian. Everyone asks Brian questions because he doesn't know much. So this will be even better.
I mean, I'll do my best to answer them, and whatnot.
As he's like redoing my notes.
I'm just making sure that everything is nice and put away.
Normally when I do the show at my studio, my bedroom,
Yeah.
I have the recycling bin, and as soon as I finish reading the notes, I just dump it in the recycling bin. So
We're gonna take this and put it right there on the refrigerator.
Oh, you want to put my notes on the refrigerator? How kind of you.
With a nice little gold star, an A+.
Shaggy says I'm getting a whale jersey when I get paid next week.
Oh, right.
Awesome. Which version of the whale? Are you talking about Connecticut whale, or are you talking Hartford Whalers?
Connecticut.
Which one are you talking about?
Isn't that weird, by the way, that's the actual pronunciation of the name of the state? I just say Connecticut, but like Connecticut is the way that you're actually supposed to say it. I'm like, that is. Wow.
I'm calling it Connecticut. I'm lazy.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Connecticut. I'm like, no.
But
It's kind of like being like, no, it's Louisiana. It's like, what, you mean Louisiana?
yeah. But yeah, if you guys got any Shaggy, you should get our good friend Anya Bailino, who still hasn't scored a goal this season. Or you should just get Sydney Rossman, since you're like her #1 like Twitter stalker or something like that. I dropped a Cheerio. Oh, there it is. So, but yeah, no, guys, any questions we want to ask Brian, go ahead and ask him. Brian, have you been to a game recently?
No, I have not.
Why not? Why not?
Because I can never get down to DC. And I would love to go see a game, but A, funds, and B, transportation.
Gotta love both of those things. Funds and transportation.
By the way, I want to show you something. I have a friend on Facebook. His name is Todd Hargosh.
Yeah, but that's for new ones. We already.
No, I pronounced his last name wrong, but still.
Yeah.
His name is.
Wait, hold on. Is he? Oh, they're totally curling. You need to share that to me. Share that to me in a private message so I can send that to my dad.
Okay. But
We go into that and we start looking at curling.
the only reason I'm even.
Hey, look, I got an attachment from it.
Nice. The only reason I'm even. Oh God. I'll have to save that for later.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm bringing him up is because every time that there's a Caps game on, he always
Cries.
yeah, and it's always about God, where is it? I guess it hasn't been recent, but like every time I am on Facebook and there's a Caps game going on, I just see him like, we need to trade our goalie, blah, 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 blah. Every time, every single time, and it gets to the point where like I have to wonder.
They didn't tell me.
Is that the only thing that you have? Is that the only thing that you have to say about the Caps?
Yeah. No.
Like every time he's talking about Holtby, I'm like, he's just like trade him already. Just trade him already. I'm like,
That's actually a very good point. And Shaggy and Dixon, I know because you two are the only two actually commenting. And to our other viewers, you are welcome to comment in our chat stream. Please, chat in our chat stream. We do want to hear what people have to say. But you bring up an interesting point about trading people. The trade deadline is coming up very soon. The trade deadline is coming up very soon. It's very interesting. Our good friend George Fasikas at NovaCaps wrote a very interesting article about who the Capitals could potentially pick up at the trade deadline. There was only 2 names on that list that he had that I had personal interest in, and that's Jack Johnson of the Columbus Blue Jackets and Ryan McDonough of the New York Rangers. Also, another player that I would heavily consider maybe picking up on offense, because that way you can get Jacob Vrana out of the lineup, is UC Jokinen from Columbus as well. But honestly, in all fairness, I wouldn't trade a single player.
right.
I would not trade a single player. If I could do a trade, I would pick somebody up to bring them in but I would not try to give up anything major for him at the same time. Like a UC Jokinen, we could probably trade a 4th round draft pick for him, compared to a Jack Johnson or a Ryan McDonough, where we may have to trade somebody off of our roster, or we may have to trade a prospect out of our pipeline. So I definitely think, so those are guys who, I think UC Jokinen would be a great pickup for the playoffs. I think McDonough would be a great pickup because he also has another year left on his contract, and he also brings leadership to the team. But I'm okay with the Washington Capitals doing just standing pat for this trade deadline and just go with what you got.
Right.
You have these guys for a reason. Let's show them that you trust them and that they can do the thing and roll with them.
Right.
So it's always a very interesting thing.
I mean, far be it from me to be able to call any kind of decisions that the Caps might need to actually make, just because I'm not nearly as informed as, say, you are, but they have a good team. And it sucks that, like...
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
You guys are with who? Castwave?
yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. I saw you guys online, and we met before.
Yep.
Awesome. It's good to see you guys at the table here.
Sapphire Diner.
Yeah, you got it.
Nice.
But yeah, sorry, going on.
Yeah.
Welcome to convention life.
Good, good.
Can you imagine when I do this on
I'm actually off to
at
an interview.
Awesome
I would catch you guys.
Can you imagine when we do this at AwesomeCon?
Oh yeah. I wonder if we're gonna be in that corner again. Because we at AwesomeCon, there's only it's funny because the way that the convention floor is laid out, it's this giant hall, right? And it's like a giant bathtub basically. And there's only one area where it's a straight wall, and then there's only one area where it cuts a corner and then goes all the way back, right? We were in that.
Let him tell the story, then feed him.
Colin can vouch for me on this one. But we were in the only corner on that freaking floor. There's only one corner in the convention center at Wall Street, Washington, on the convention side, and we're stuck in that one corner. I'm like, man, it feels like they're trying to tell us something.
Go away.
Here's your corner, now shoot. And it wasn't even like we were one of the ones in the row. We were literally the one on the end in the corner facing the wall. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're not looking at any of the cool stuff. Okay.
Whereas me, I'm just running around all over the floor.
Yeah.
Like a madman with his head cut off. Because it's what I do.
So I don't know what our situation is going to be like this year.
Chaotic.
But yeah,
You sweet.
stop it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a preview of what will happen at AwesomeCon most likely when we do the show live from AwesomeCon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, AwesomeCon's going to be insane this year.
Yep, Stephen.
You
got Stephen
it's
Amell,
insane.
who just had the New Day announced yesterday. You have Bill McKay, Tom King, Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder.
Are you going to get your box of the video signed?
I might go with trading cards.
Okay.
Because trading cards are easier to store.
That's fair. I mean, I'm just saying because they make sure that you're not booty.
Well, the funny thing is I have to meet him and I have to tell him the Bill Nye the Science Guy story.
Oh my God, that's right.
That's a story. Actually, you know what? We'll save that for the experience because we do have to do experience coverage while we're here at Farpoint,
Yes.
which is the 25th.
Which is going to
anniversary.
probably be later because we do need to set the table.
Yes.
So
that's fine. I'm just saying when we do the experience, that's when we'll share the stories. Go to facebook.com/the experience. No E at the beginning of experience.
Yep. And
then I have 2 celebrity interviews tomorrow morning, and it'll be good.
we have today. We have just letting y'all know for the Castwave side of things. we actually have an interview with Mr. Timothy Zahn, and then we also have an interview with Matt Frewer, and those are going to be up sometime early next week once we've edited it all together. We still haven't done the interview yet, but those are what we have slated for today. And then tomorrow,
Really? I got Matt tomorrow.
and then tomorrow, we're actually doing a Boldly Going Nowhere live recording in Panel Room. Where is it? The Hunt Ballroom at noon tomorrow.
I don't know where any of these things are because this is my first time at this hotel.
Yeah. This hotel, like I told you before, this hotel is weird and has all kinds of crazy little idiosyncrasies and stuff. In kind of a good way. You'll have to see it. You'll have to see it to believe it.
And then,
like, dude, okay.
And then real quick, so that way people know how to spell the experience. There you go. There you go. That's how you spell the experience. So Facebook.com/the experience. One big word. Later today, we'll have the opening coverage of Farpoint 25. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, on Facebook Live as well, will be the interviews with Nana Visitor at 9:15 a.m. and Matt Frewer at 9:55. Nice. So, and then I'm leaving immediately after that because I got a hockey game I got to play in, which, by the way, Shaggy, you'll be seeing a post from me very soon in our group page because I'm still listing myself as a game time decision. Despite scoring a hat trick on Wednesday night. Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. We have 5 minutes. So Wednesday, I was only supposed to film the games for the NWHL in Rockville, which is the Wednesday night league. I get a text message right when I'm getting ready to go to lunch saying, oh, by the way, you're not playing in the 9:15 p.m. game on Scott's team. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then I go into, now I've never played in this league before, so it's a little, there's some differences. I score a hat trick. So as the running gag goes, make MDHL debut, score hat trick, score game-winning goal, leave. I'm now retired from the league.
Oh man, that's a story right there. Because
and I've already been asked several times if I'll play on that team full time, and my answer is no. I have no intentions of playing full time for a second team.
I mean, hell, man, there's worse ways to make an impression on people. I mean,
I could have gone out there.
So wait, hold on, let me get this straight. You made a hat trick, and then you had another goal. So you had 4.
No. I had 3 goals.
Okay.
We won 6-3. My center scored the first goal of the game, like 15 seconds in. Then I scored like 30 seconds later.
Okay.
And then I scored the next 2 after that, which gave me my hat trick.
Oh, wow.
They scored 3 goals. I scored the 4th goal. Because I scored the 4th goal, that means I had the game-winning goal.
Okay.
Mikey does somewhat good.
Okay. That's how it was sounding in my head. Was like you got a hat trick, and then you got an extra point.
No. That part of the hat trick was the game-winning goal.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, we're wrapping up. Where can the people find you in Castwave Studios?
You can find us at castwavestudios.com. You can also find us at Castwave Studios on Twitter, and we also have an Instagram. I'm actually doing the grand majority of social media updates now. So if you want to reach out, if you want to ask us a question, or hell, you can shoot the shit with us, feel free to hit us up on, again, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'd love to talk to you. Right now, we're doing a couple different shows.
And you have a new studio.
Yes, we do. We have a brand new studio in downtown Frederick at New Spire Arts. Not only do we have our own studio space, we record every Wednesday at about 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. We always go live. But we also are doing a couple of other shows, Prime Directive being one of them, which is our Star Trek podcast, and then we have...
Which I was on last year.
Yes.
Which I still haven't seen any link for that.
Talk to Sean on that one, because he should... Yeah.
I never got a link from that episode that I was on last year.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure that we link you to that, because he was in charge of doing that. He did it. Way to go, Sean. And then coming up in the spring and summertime, we're going to be doing season 2 of Batcast 66, which is our Batman review show, featuring the Bright Knight, Adam West. And I'm also doing a... Adam West.
I'm still mad I never got to meet him. I had the opportunity and I blew it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But anyways, wrap it up real quick because I gotta do my plugs before we go up there.
Right. Sorry, I'm not trying to.
God, everyone's always trying to take over my show.
Oh my god. But then we also have a brand new, because we had to choose another name for it, but we have a brand new toy and comic review show. Starring myself and Mr. Zach Patterson. The first episode should be up soon. And then we're going to be doing a couple of different things, hopefully either here or at a couple of other conventions. We're probably going to be doing some filming at AwesomeCon for that, by the way.
Which I'll also be doing filming. I know we're definitely doing something for Mansa at AwesomeCon. There's got to be something that we're doing for Mansa.
I wouldn't expect anything less. I honestly wouldn't. And by the way, that post last night that I saw.
Yeah. Some people thought it was about them.
No.
Yeah.
No. I saw that immediately. And I was like,
that was first try too. So yeah, some of those people were gonna have a nice talk too and be like, that post wasn't about you.
Right.
So.
No, I saw it and I was like, okay, that's cool, man. But yeah, if you want to do your plugs.
Yep, and then of course, ladies and gentlemen, next week on the show we will have Stephanie Phillips, the writer of the graphic novel Kicking Ice, which is also in association with the National Women's Hockey League. She'll be on next week talking about the graphic novel, the Kickstarter, how she got the NWHL involved, and so much more. And of course, follow us on Twitter at TXHT_hockey, Facebook at facebook.com/TXHThockey, Facebook.com/The Experience for all the covers I'll be doing this weekend here at Farpoint, and then also Patreon.com/TXHT_hockey. That has our episode that we put up on Wednesday from the Caps Golden Knights game, where we have, it's like a 23-minute long episode. And so until next week, we will see you on the ice.